If you wanted to know what artful resistance looks like in the age of MAGA and the Trump regime 2.0, then you needed to look no further than Kendrick Lamar, Uncle Sam, and the Super Bowl halftime show. Folks, this was a master class in artful resistance led by a Pulitzer Prize winning rapper who used his time in the best ways possible. And they were mad, big mad, MAGA mad at all the blackness they needed to ingest. Hi, dear friends. It is time for a pre taped Danielle Moodie show today. Let's get into it. With 100 million people watching from around the world and in these United States, the Super Bowl proved to be one of the most exceptional displays of resistance we have seen yet to the war that MAGA has placed on diversity, equity, and inclusion, the war that they have wanted to wage against Blackness, against any accomplishments of and by Black people. The Super Bowl, my friends, and I'm not even a person who gives a damn about football, but I cared about the halftime show enough for us to unpack it here today. So let's get into it, shall we? First off, Samuel L. Jackson playing Uncle Sam in the game that is America, that we are all, as my friend Torre said in a video today, trapped inside of, was extraordinary. I mean, first of all, a Black Uncle Sam, right? The government standing up on a stage, welcoming the world to the show.
Salutations! It's your Uncle Sam, and this is the Great American Game.
Because the fact is, folks, that's what we are all in right now. America's game. I have been talking about it for years at this point, but you cannot overstate how the broligarchy has turned America into just one big monopoly game where everyone else is put in jail while they go ahead and grift and steal and amass as much wealth as possible. Because you see, the game of Monopoly, right, is all about one person winning, one person coming out on top while everyone else is indebted to them in some form or fashion. I actually hate the game, but it is a beautiful example, beautiful display of capitalism, right? And particularly the upside down capitalism that we have inside of this country operating right now. Samuel L. Jackson saying, "Welcome to the game," and then zooming back, folks, if you zoom out on the stage that Kendrick Lamar, the Pulitzer Prize winning rapper, was performing on, it was an actual remote control. You can only see that you're in the game when you zoom out, because those that were dancing and performing and those that were just looking at Kendrick and not on the zoom out, you can't tell that you're in a game. the beautiful metaphor of where we are in America. How do you know how to play, right? If you don't even know that you're trapped in the game to begin with. It was absolutely exquisite, right? And Samuel L. Jackson, just one of the best to ever do it, uttered this phrase at this point that I just thought was gorgeous. When Kendrick Lamar was on stage with the other musical artist, SZA, and they're singing one of the nice kind of R&B-esque songs on his latest album, and Samuel L. Jackson's character, Uncle Sam, pops back up and he says, "That's what America wants, nice and calm. You're almost there. Don't mess it up," right? Because that's what America wants from you. Don't be too loud. Don't be too offensive. Don't be too much. Don't be too black. Don't be too bold. Don't stand out. Don't. And at this point, right, what is it when Kendrick Lamar pops out and begins his performance even with? What does he say? One of my favorite Gil Scott-Heron songs, "The Revolution Will Not Be Televised," except Kendrick does a twist on it at the Super Bowl last night. The revolution's about to be televised. You pick the right time, but the wrong guy. You see, the beauty of Kendrick Lamar, even if you are not a fan of rap music, if you are a fan of art, right, then you are a fan of Kendrick Lamar. Because everything that he does is subversive. There are layers to this shit, things that actually require you to think and unpack. You see, what was happening between Kendrick Lamar and the mainstream bubblegum rapper Drake, right, blew up into this rap battle where Kendrick Lamar, who is representative of Black culture, Black feeling, and Black thought, right? That is a nod to Nikki Giovanni. He represents realness, authenticity. Drake is a culture vulture. He does what's popular, what is mainstream, what is liked. And he started this war, this rap battle between him and Kendrick Lamar, because he said about Kendrick that you're not the greatest because you're not popular. People aren't, buying up and consuming your albums in the way that they're consuming mine. I bet you couldn't even write a hit. Hence, Kendrick's latest album is born out of this rap battle. And all of these hits that he just won Grammys for, including Not Like Us, right, is a song, sure, thinly about Drake, but when you actually look underneath, it is a critique on the culture vultures that exist in America. Those that really love to consume Black culture, but actually hate Black people, right? So when you see this and you heard it, the revolution's about to be televised, is that what he was offering in this gorgeous 15-minute performance was a critique on America, on capitalism, on the game that Black people in particular are trapped inside of, and that we have to recognize, right, that in order to survive, we are actually, to use his lyrics, going to need to squabble up. We're actually going to need to fight. We are actually going to need to be present, right, in our bodies, in our mindset, and more importantly, in this revolution. Y'all, when I tell you that this moment that we witnessed, this American representation of a disjointed American flag created with Black male bodies, this moment, y'all, there will be dissertations that are written about this. There will be courses trust and believe, that are done and created around this. The representation of Black bodies that are denied and have been since slavery, since the horrid institution of the slave trade, right, have been used to build America, but have never been seen as American, right? Just the presence of Black people in this country, in the world, is a reminder, right, of how Black bodies have been used and abused, but still managed to thrive, still, with all of the obstacles placed in our way, still are and can create excellence in art, in music, in culture, everywhere. This representation right here of Black bodies that are never actually seen as autonomous, but only tools, right, to be used by white supremacy, you can't get a better chef's kiss than this. And then we would have this moment. Serena Williams on stage, crip walking. I need to show you this clip, and then we will talk about it on the other side.
Chord, and it's probably A minor.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
What?
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
Are you my?
Why is this so important? Let me tell you. So, before Serena Williams retired, at one of the many tournaments that she had won, after winning, I want to say that it was Wimbledon. After winning Wimbledon, and I don't even know what time this was, Serena Williams, who has been critiqued, harassed, abused, right, for the look of her body, for the shape of her body, for the melanin present in her body. Bananas thrown at her. Horrible, disgusting chants said throughout her career. When she won Wimbledon, she crip walked. She did this very dance, right? She is a child of Compton, grew up, played on the courts, learned tennis in a place that America, particularly white America, had thrown away. Oh, they're gangsters, they're thugs. We need no investment there, right? She did this at Wimbledon, one of the whitest places ever, after she won, as a signal. I stand in my power. I stand in my Blackness. I know who I am, and I love who I am, and I hide no parts of who I am, right? You can try and erase and deny and create obstacles for Black people, but we will still win. And so this moment for her to do this again on the national stage was exquisite. Now, on the petty part, she is also one of Drake's ex-girlfriends, the one that he talked about the most and harassed her. So for her to join forces with Kendrick Lamar and then crip walk, I mean, the level of petty that I aspire to have was present in this moment. And it was gorgeous, to say the least. You cannot move through this display of excellent Black artistry without, oh my goodness, the voice the presence and the power of Grammy award-winning artists, Let Us See, performing Lift Every Voice and Sing. It was a beautiful rendition of that song, but also the way that she repeated over and over again, march on until victory is won. That song is a powerful anthem of what it means to be Black in these United States, continually fighting for justice, fighting for your place in a country that does not want to see you, let alone celebrate any accomplishments that have all been hard fought. When we talk about what resistance looks like, I have said time and time again, it doesn't look one way. It looks as different as there are people. Some people's resistance looks like marching, looks like protesting, looks like making phone calls and sending emails, looks like running for office against the opposition. It looks like art, gardening. It looks like community building. It looks like mentoring. And it looks like singing and rapping and acting. What we saw last night was what it means to decide to squabble up, to decide that you're going to fight with what you have, the gifts that you have, and the ability that you have, and the platform that you have for this country to be better, that you can decide to erase diversity, equity, and inclusion from your walls like Donald Trump did at Quantico FBI training headquarters. You can decide to gut curriculums. You can decide to believe that every bad thing in this country has come from diversity, equity, and inclusion, and you can call it your boogeyman. But you cannot erase our achievements. You cannot erase excellence. You cannot erase quality. You cannot erase genius. Because wherever you go, there we are. Through John Baptiste's rendition of the national anthem, to Kendrick Lamar, to Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam, to Let Us See and that beautiful Black choir, to the Black marching band that kicked things off. This was the most Black, expressive Super Bowl performances that I think we've ever seen. And it is at a moment when the president, right, or the so-called, what I will refer to as the illegitimate president of these United States, decides that he is at war with the 20th century. He is at war with any and every advancement that has ever been made. But the reality is like what this person tweeted. Kendrick literally protested and taunted America in front of the president during America's biggest sports event. Chef's kiss. And it's true. Because here was Donald Trump, right? Here was Donald Trump. Not with his wife, but with his pretend wife, his daughter Ivanka, giving a salute during the national anthem. And, well, see for yourselves. When Donald Trump is shown on the Jumbotron, there was a mix, some applause, a lot of boos. And what's going around on social media right now is this idea that Fox News, Fox Network, suppressed the boos and put applause in. And when other broadcasters from around the world that were showing the game showed Fox's footage, they used their own audio. To me, I heard the boos right there, as did all of you. But if you Google Donald Trump booed at Super Bowl, you see nothing but Donald Trump applauding the fact that Taylor Swift was booed. This is what propaganda looks like, where you no longer trust your own eyes and ears, and you need to have all of these different videos with all of these different vantage points, because what Fox News showed us, I don't actually believe. Neither do a lot of Americans. But that video, because I heard it when Donald Trump was showed, I heard the boos and I heard some applause as well. But the fact is, just like I said last week, Donald Trump is the Wizard of Oz. He has created a smoke and bullshit perception of himself and his power. Oh, Donald Trump wins the election, so there is some kind of mandate that he has, right? Where J.D. Vance just said over the weekend, Donald Trump doesn't have to listen to the judiciary. He was given a mandate, right? They can't delegitimize the co-equal branch of government with those pesky things called laws. But nonetheless, Donald Trump is the Wizard of Oz because he is smoke and mirrors. From his time at The Apprentice, where they made up his wealth, they set the scene of this powerful boardroom, all of it a lie, to make Donald Trump seem more powerful and more wealthy than he was. Now, folks, this is not for me to tell you that we shouldn't be worried and fearful. But the fact is that you have to understand that the image that is being created is being done purposefully and strategically to make us believe that there are more of them than there are of us. And the fact is that if you were watching the Super Bowl and you were watching all of the ads and you're seeing the diversity that makes up this country, you know that their war on diversity, equity, and inclusion is a war on progress. It is a war on the 20th century to put people back in their perceived places, to make you believe that that's how a majority of Americans think. It's not. Because let's understand that the Super Bowl, the NFL, these networks, they're all about money. And at the end of the day, when you were watching all of those commercials, what stood out to me was the diversity in all of them, because it's good for the bottom line, because everybody, all types of bodies, all types of people watch the Super Bowl, whether it's for the commercials, whether it's for the halftime, whether it's gathering to have a bevy of snacks. Everyone comes at it for their own reasoning. But everybody, all types of people show up, not just white folks. So while the NFL may have indeed changed their end zones to rid themselves of the phrase end racism, we also know that racism doesn't end by just spray painting it or painting it on to an end zone. We know that it ends because of consciousness and a collective consciousness and awareness of the oppressive systems that have been put in place to hold Black people down and back and hold people in their places. Last night was an extraordinarily beautiful, exquisite example of what it means to use your platform to send messages that make people think, that have them unpack who we are as a people and who we want to be. Donald Trump has a very narrow and scarce idea of who he wants America to be. And the only way that his ideas materialize, that and Elon Musk's dreams materialize, is if we go along for the get along. We believe the lies that they tell us, that there are more of them than there are us, that there are more Americans that care about holding each other down and holding each other back from progress because they don't like Black people, people of color, women, people of various faiths. We lose by believing them, by believing that there are more cheers than there are jeers. And the reality is, everything that they give us should be questioned. Everything that we see should be questioned. Who does it benefit? Who does it upset? What is this for? And you may want to shrug off what it is that Fox Networks did with the booing, but it's part of the larger scheme to create this image and this idea that Donald Trump is this beloved figure, right? And that us that believe in progress, equality, and justice are in the minority. And that just, dear friends, is not true. So we always have to remind ourselves of my favorite Toni Morrison quote that I will keep putting up over and over again. The function, the very serious function of racism is distraction. It keeps you from doing your work. It keeps you explaining over and over again your reason for being. None of this is necessary. There will always be one more thing. And to close out today's Danielle Moodie show, I offer this, which was a post that I shared last night after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I feel like MAGA was defeated tonight, and I don't even love football. The eagle flew high and free, and K-Dot didn't let Uncle Sam tell him what he could do. Pay attention, America. The symbolism was so strong. The art of resistance on full display. It is time that we here in America decide to do what Kendrick says, which is squabble up. They are trying to stomp us out. They are trying to erase us, to make us irrelevant. We're not a part of their Project 2025. We are just obstacles in their way to their white nationalist dreams. And the fact is, there are more of us than there are of them. We just need to wake up and squabble up because it's time to fight. That is it for me today here, dear friends, on the Danielle Moodie Show. I will be back live with you tomorrow for Town Hall Tuesday. So please do join me back here 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for the live show of the Danielle Moodie Show. As always, dear friends, power to the people and to all the people power. Get woke, stay sane, and in these extraordinarily dangerous times, dear friends, do stay safe. I will see you back here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern. And as always, if you are loving this channel and loving the content, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It goes a long way, dear friends, in order to, one, getting us to 15,000 subscribers. Right now, we have hit 13.2 thousand subscribers in record time. Share this show as soon as it goes up with everyone and anyone that you know across your platforms. Tell folks to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the algorithm and helps us get into people's feeds where we belong. We'll continue to build community and do the good work here on this show. I appreciate every single one of you, and I will see you back here tomorrow. Be well.